the first thing baseball needs to do is get rid of Bud Selig. I think he's totally incompetent, okay, as baseball commissioner. He's totally incompetent. They've let the game has eroded further under his so-called leadership. It's been a lack of leadership, okay, and he's a puppet.
Of the owners.
He's a puppet of certain owners, okay? So why say he's the commissioner? Why don't you just call him a puppet? Well, you got to get somebody in there that is going to be the commissioner, that has a real stiff backbone, and is going to act in the best interest of the game. That's the number one thing that has to happen.
Labor problems, strikes, and lockouts have really hurt the sport. Last year's spitting incident involving Roberto Alomar and umpire John Hirschbeck was another black eye for baseball. Through it all, salaries continue their meteoric rise, while the average fan finds it increasingly difficult to afford a day at the ballpark. Gibson says there is plenty of blame to go around for the problems baseball has been experiencing.
It's a collective thing. Everybody's got to throw their egos to the side a little bit and say, what is really best for this game? See, the problem is too many people in this world think about themselves today. You can go to a baseball locker room and you know those stat sheets they hand out, and you'll watch the guys pick them up and slip back there in the bathroom and read through it, okay? Then you go ask those players, what are you looking at, the standings? Ain't nobody looking at the standings. They know if they go 1 for 3, their average is going to drop a point or it's going up 3 points. That's one thing I always took pride in, was I never let myself put myself before my teammates. I always said, if I'm world champion, I'm happy with my average. I never set a goal to hit 30 home runs or to hit 300. And I think if that's all I thought about, I guarantee I would have done that. All I said, that's not even that challenging. Okay, I'm going to make it even worse. I'm going to become world champions. That's what I want to do.
Gibson accomplished his goal twice, with the Tigers in '84 and 4 years later with the Dodgers. Declared a free agent in one of baseball's collusion cases, Gibson wound up leaving the Tigers after the 1987 season. There were parting shots on his way out of town from, among others, owner Tom Monahan, who ripped Gibson for his appearance, his half-beard and long hair.
I knew that I wasn't a disgrace. I knew I busted my tail. I knew I was a team player and always only had that in mind. And I really recognized that that was just his frustrations. I mean, they made a business decision to let me go. I wanted to stay in Detroit. I mean, I wanted dearly to stay here. I didn't want to go. You think I want to go live in California? Yeah. Well, I'm a Midwestern boy, Michigan boy. I didn't want to go out there. Now, when I left and they wrote all the things in the paper and Monahan said all that, I never said a word about it. And I told my parents, I said, don't respond to that. You let me respond to that by my actions. And when I went out there to Los Angeles and when we won the World Series that year, and I got to do what I did off of Dennis Eckersley, that's why you get happy, because you reward those who've been with you.
You reveal in the book that after that season, Tom Monahan called you.
Yeah, he did. And I just said he wanted me to come out and have lunch with him, and
he wanted to apologize.
Whatever. Yeah, he wanted to apologize, but his apology could be over the phone. Okay, and I don't hold anything against him. It's just, you know what? Sometimes you go through life and you meet people that you know that you have nothing in common with, and you don't have any reason to be around them.
Gibson did a lot of growing up with the Tigers. It was a tight group that learned about winning and losing together. And I asked Kirk about a few of his teammates in Detroit.
Long fly ball could be upstairs.
Lance Parrish.
A guy who stood up for the Players Association. It was the worst thing he could have ever done in his whole life. He went to Philadelphia, ruined his career. Lance owned Detroit. He was the big wheel. We used to call him the big wheel. And, he did something for the wrong reason.
Alan Trammell.
Well, we used to call him the fiddler because the way he'd always fiddle his hits in there. And, people have the totally wrong impression of Alan Trammell. He's not who you think he is.
All right, set us straight.
This guy, if something started and you look around, there's nobody around, you know it's him. Great guy, one of my best friends, and, always will be.
Lou Whitaker.
Lou's world. Many people criticize Lou for the way he was. But, many people say, oh, he could have been the best second baseman in the game of baseball. I think he is. You tell me who's better than him. I think he's better than Joe Morgan.
Jack Morris.
Jack Morris was a guy a lot like me, and we clashed sometimes because of it. When Jack Morris and Dave Steve would pitch against each other, we'd say, great, the two biggest babies in Major League Baseball. Jack Morris loved to win so bad, it killed him when he lost.
Dave Rozema.
Dave Rose. Now you're really making me
Your brother-in-law.
filter my comments. We married sisters. We made the most mistakes together, but I'll tell you what, I think you have a hard time finding two people that are happier than the both of us now that hit it big. I mean, we hit it. We were closest friends.
You were the bad boys, the original.
We were the original bad boys. We married Joanne and Sandy, went on our honeymoon together, still live together. I got 3 boys. He's got 3 girls. So he better keep an eye on my boys.